Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a break with Stephen Shamus.
Good to see you, my friend. How's it going today?
Wonderful. Another beautiful day in California, where it's never not a beautiful day.
See, you're. It feels like your room is filling up a little bit.
A little too much. I got a box of comics behind me. I got to put something in this space. Once I get something there, it'll be all set.
Yeah, I think this space for you is kind of empty right now.
Pretty much. Yeah, I can see that. I get that.
All right, what do we got today, Alex?
Oh, yeah, a bunch of fun stuff, as always. We're going to talk a little Nomad, which I'm surprised we've actually never talked about Nomad in the 100.
I check. I check.
Yeah.
Every episode, I do a search to see if we talked about something.
And
we've been pretty good. We have very rarely repeat anything.
And the other reason why we repeat is because something's taken off more than it did when we first talked about it. We're going to talk Tosin Oduye. Oduye sounds more right. Secret Invasion, because you know what's coming up. Cowboy Bebop.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
And we're going to round it up with a little Legend of Zelda.
This is the Triforce of Wisdom, Link. The evil wizard Ganon has the Triforce of Power.
A lot of wacky stuff today, Alex. All right, what are we going to talk about first?
Let's talk Nomad.
I know you said it right. Like
it's crazy. It's crazy.
We've never talked about this book. So the character is going to be played by Paul Fairley, right?
Yeah, that's the rumors. I mean, that's the
rumor, right?
Yeah,
and that's going to be in which series or film? I'm forgetting now.
It's a Marvel movie, but they're going to do it in, I think, Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man's going to be
right. Okay, correct.
Yeah, which is also really weird that this Captain America hero is in Ant-Man.
Well, they're crossing over everything.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So the book has gotten pretty nuts, pretty nutty.
Yep.
Even the other Nomad series from 1990 and 1992.
Everybody was just waiting for their 90s Nomad number one. They're just holding them.
Listen, those books are in the dollar bin, Alex. I don't get what you tell me. All right, so talk a little bit about Nomad, the character.
Yeah, so there's a couple different Nomads. The moniker first appeared in Captain America. Steve Rogers hated America for some reason and decided to become Nomad. He was that character for a little while, retired, and then like the third Bucky took it over and a couple other people, but the Nomad that I think everybody knows is the Jack Monroe Nomad. And he was Nomad for a while, and then he had a 1990s series and ran for a long time, and that's the Nomad that we believe is going to be in the Ant-Man movie.
Got it. All right. So the first appearance of Nomad is Captain America number 180 from December of 1974. There are 13 9.8s. There are 45 9.6s. There are 59 9.4s, and a 9.8 recently sold for $2,600. But a more reasonably priced 8.5 is about $225. And those Captain America issues are generally available. Like you can find Captain America back issues.
Very few amount are very hard to find.
Right, right. They're hard to find in high grade, but they're not hard to find regularly overall. So that issue is played. We believe the character is going to be played by Paul Fairley. I think you're correct. It's Ant-Man. Steve Rogers becomes Nomad. Madam Hydra kills Viper and becomes the new Viper. There's a Krang cameo. Steve Englehart story with Sal Buscema and Vince Coletta art with a Gil Kane cover. Interesting. Ooh. Okay. Then there's two Nomad miniseries. Nomad number 1 from November of 1990. There's only one Blue Label 9.8, so that's a rare book in 9.8. And 1990 is 32 years old already. It's about a $15 raw book. Captain America appearance, Fabian Nicieza's story, James Fry and Mark McKenna cover and art. And then the last book to take a look at is Nomad number 1 from May of 1992. There are 33 9.8s, and that's about a $75 book. And to your point, it depends on which one actually is the one featured in the movie, but they're all going to be good. Triple gatefold cover. Remember triple gatefold covers, all that stuff. With map and poster. Again, a Fabian Story, S. Clark Korbicker and Mark McKenna cover and art. So that takes care of Nomad, but the big one is Captain America 180. I think you should go
That's
out
a great
and look for
cover too.
a nice. Yeah, I would just look for like a nice, clean cover.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go Black Panther route, but we're gonna go Tosin Oduye.
Yes,
And I'm gonna say that wrong. So if anybody knows it, phonetically spell it out in the comments.
Okay, why are these books going absolutely bonkers, Alex? What is going on here?
I think that the Black Panther franchise is so huge, and we don't know what's going to happen with it, that I think people are kind of doing a little speculation. But this character is fun. It's a neat character. He is a person who is in another tribe that is Wakandian, but their tribe kind of doesn't like the way the Wakandans are, and the king, and they didn't like their politics and stuff like that. And their tribe uses the vibranium as tattoos. So they have powers because of their tattoos that are vibranium tattoos. It's just it's a new character, but very fun. Very fun.
Do we think this character is going to be in the film? Is that why this character is going?
Could be. I mean, this is a John Ridley character that he invented. Oh, I don't see why not. I mean, John Ridley is kind of a big deal in all of.
By the way, this book came out like a month ago, and there's already hundreds of CGC books.
Oh, I'm sure they just submitted them right away. That's crazy. Okay. There's already submissions out there.
I know. Black Panther #3, March 2022.
Yep.
143 Blue Label 9/8 already.
That's huge. That's pretty big.
For Alex, $300, $3 for that book already.
Bananas.
It's also known as Black Panther #200, first appearance of Tosin Oduye, John Ridley story, Juan Cabal art, and Alex Ross cover. Then there's the Gary Frank variant cover, 47 Blue Label 9.8s. That's about $150 book. Then there's the Joe Jusko Marvel Masterpieces variant cover. There's 13 9.8s there. That's a $225 book. Now get this one. The Torrin Clark 1 in 25 variant cover. There are 99 9.8s. It's a $1,400 book already, Alex.
That's crazy. That's a lot of
99 pop.
There's going to be a lot of these books. These aren't low printed books. This is Black Panther. This is a 200. This is the anniversary. That's crazy.
All right. Then the Mateus Manhani second print cover. There are 63 9.8s, and that's a $125 book with a $15 to $20 raw price. So that book, this guy Tosin Oduye is on fire.
They might still be on the stands. You might be able to go to the stores and find them.
You're right.
It's Free Comic Book Day. We're recording on May the 4th.
Right.
May the 4th be with you. It's Free Comic Book Day this weekend. Go look. They might be on the stands.
Okay. All right, Alex, pick of the week. What do you got for us, Alex?
I have a specific book for the pick a week this week that I just learned what it was, and now I have to find copies. They're not expensive, but Doctor Strange 57. And I know what you're thinking. It actually has nothing to do with the movie, has nothing to do with anything. Doctor Strange number 57 from 1983, so 38 years old, because that's me, is the last printed mini comic of the Hostess snack cakes. So all the Hostess snack cakes ads that were in all the comic books, that is the very last one in print was Doctor Strange number 57. The last Hostess snack cake comic was in that one.
You are a fountain of useless knowledge, Alex.
I love it. I think the issue, the magazine back issue, because they did a whole thing on the Hostess cakes and they said that was the last issue. So now I need one. I absolutely need one.
Go to Mile High Comics. Okay. All right, Alex, what's next?
A new Marvel series coming up, Secret Invasion.
Yeah, so these books are starting to tick up a little bit, Alex. I noticed a climbing of the price, so to speak, right?
They were very, very readily available for years.
They printed a zillion copies. And let me tell you something. When I was in this, were you working at Midtown at the time?
Yeah.
They printed a lot of copies of these books, Alex. I don't care what you tell me.
Lots. And I think it took a while for people to start. People were buying them, but they were never. There's so many of them. It's easy to just sell a bunch for $10 each, and then now there's no in the market, and now they're going high. But okay. Secret Invasion, no TV show, a Marvel. It's going to be crazy.
Got it. So New Avengers number 40, June of 2008. Lots of copies out there. Only 39.8s because who sent those in, right? That's about a $350 book. In 9.6, it's about a $175 book. Spider-Woman revealed to be a Skrull Queen Varanke. That's the big thing, is the Varanke Skrull Queen. You'll talk about her in a second. Wraparound cover, Brian Michael Bendis story, Jimmy Chung and John Dell cover and art. That's the big item, right? The Varanka Skrull Queen.
Just the fact that Spider-Woman had Jessica Drew was a Skrull the whole time. This whole stretch of comic book series, we had the Skrull Queen had an infiltrated Earth and everything, and it was huge. And then it wraps in the whole miniseries. Nobody knows who was real and who's a Skrull, and they couldn't figure it out. And yeah, it's going to be I think it's going to be a big deal when that TV show comes out. Right.
Yeah, for sure. And then the second print, 49 9.8s. That's about a $550 book, right? The second print. It's about $150 to $175 raw. Very, very tough to find.
Yes.
Then there is the HeroClix promotional exclusive. Talk a little bit about that, Alex. What is the HeroClix promotional exclusive book? It's only 3 9.8s, and it's a $40 to $60 raw book.
That was a promotional copy for Secret Invasion #1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. You skipped over.
It's the Secret Invasion #1, but we can talk about. We're going
to talk about that in a second.
There's a lot of covers for this book. And this was one that was packaged with HeroClix. So when you say that there's only 3 9.8s, of course, I mean, 9.8s is almost a perfect book, and these are going to be squished, wrapped, trashed. The HeroClix game at that point, I think that was the last time. That was the last one before Wizards of the Coast bought HeroClix. So I think this was like the end of the run. They weren't that popular anymore. Just finding these are going to be extremely hard.
Yeah. So Secret Invasion #1, also a book they printed a zillion copies of. June of 2008, 432 9.8s, $150 to $175. It's a cover swipe of New Avengers #1, Brian Michael Bendis, Leinil Yu, and Mark Morales art, Gabriel Delgado cover. Then there's the director's cut edition, 18 9.8s. That's about a $225 book. There's the DF cover, limited to 2,500, 302 9.8. That's about a $325 book. The HeroClix, as we discussed, is $40 to $60 raw.
Yeah.
Then there's the Leinil Yu Midtown Comics New York Comic Con 2008 edition. You guys must have a copy of that, right?
In a box in storage somewhere. There's definitely
go find
a copy of it. Yeah.
Go find it. So 25 9.8s. That's about a $575 book now, Alex.
Crazy.
The McNiven 1 in 25 variant cover, 160 9.8s, is about a $300 book. Then there's the Leinil Yu 1 in 50 variant cover. There are 9 9.8s. That's about a $325 book. Then there's the McNiven 1 in 75 sketch cover, 149 blue label 9.8s. That's about a $250 book. Then there's the blank sketch edition, which is not the same as the Steve McNiven.
It was one of the first sketchbooks.
Yeah. For sure. It's about a $15 raw book. The second print, 39 9.8s, is about a $250 book. Wow. And the third print, there are 24 9.8s, and I could only find those raw for about $25.
Yeah.
So Secret Invasion right now, these are books to pick up, and you can find these books and you can find them cheap raw. You can.
Yeah, and before the show comes out. Once the show's out, it's over. It's the Moon Knight thing. When Moon Knight came out, all those books just jumped up. Everything.
Yep, for sure. I don't want to give any spoiler alerts, so
I haven't seen it yet.
All right, I won't say. Okay. There's an after scenes credit you need to watch.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that. Good.
That's all I need to say. Yeah. All right. What's next, Alice?
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these books. These books are crazy and high grade.
It's the anime fever, man. The anime is very popular.
Yeah. What is the deal? What is the deal with Cowboy Bebop? What's going on?
I mean, the anime is very popular again. Cowboy Bebop was probably in anybody's list of top 5 animes of all time. It's got to be in there. It's one of the most complete books of a show and a movie. It had a beginning, middle, and end, and it's just extremely well loved, extremely well done. And for American audience, American comics, when those started getting translated over here in single issues, they tried to break in. They weren't very popular, so there's not a lot out there. Very hard to find.
Right. Well, very hard to find. It's 20 years old already.
Yeah.
So Cowboy Bebop #1 just listed as 2002.
Mm-hmm.
There are 13 9.8s. There are 14 9.6s. A 9.8 just sold for $1,100, Alex. $1,100. First American appearance of Spike Spiegel, Faye Valentine, Jet Black, Ed and Ein, and it's a Yutaka Nanten story and art, which is all 4 issues. Cowboy Bebop #2. There are 7 9.8s. One recently sold for $125 in 9.6. Wow. Cowboy Bebop #3. There are 9 9.8s, and one recently sold for $500. And then Cowboy Bebop #4. There are 5 9.8s, and that sold for $125 in 9.6. So all 4 of them
Hefty.
are very, very expensive. They're
Hefty.
probably $500 in 9.8s, even #2 and #4 if you can find them.
Definitely.
All right, what are we closing with today, Alex?
We're going to close with Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, talk to me about Legend of Zelda. Go ahead.
So these are early Nintendo comic books. There was a Nintendo fever, and there isn't any comics anymore, which is very strange because these properties are still extremely popular. I think even more now than they were in the 90s when these came out. But this is some of the first Valiant comic books that they ever produced. Cardboard covers, painted interior, watercolored interiors. Like these books before the Exo Man Wars hit the scene, these were the Valiant books. Very hard to find. They were very, kids, people didn't buy them. They didn't last long. I think most of them lasted like 6 or 7 issues, and then they were canceled.
Yeah, so very expensive. Legend of Zelda #1. Did you ever pick up these books when you were at Valiant? Or no?
Yeah, I think I have a Game Boy and a Mario.
So why don't you sell them?
No way.
Get big money.
They're only going to be worth more 10 years from now.
All right, Alex. Legend of Zelda #1, 1990 Valiant, first print Nintendo comic system, 75 9.8, $1,600. George Caragone story, Rodney Ramos art. Oh, I like Rodney. No price variant. There are 4 9.6s. No 9.8s. A 6.0 recently sold for $200, so 9.6 probably be same price. Second print, February of 1991, has a $1.50 price variant. 14 9.8s. A 9.6 sold for $750, Alex. So even raw, you got to break out those raw ones, Alex.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay. Well, we thank you for tuning in. We're on the road to 200 now, right?
That's it. It's easy. It's all easy from here on out.
A road to 150?
Road to 150. Let's do 150.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Okay. Well, we thank you for joining us. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the field below. Otherwise, we will see everybody same time next week. Same bad time.
Same bad channel.